Today what we're going to be working on is groundwork that then leads us into working in cross ties. Cross ties are useful for grooming, for tacking, for working with farriers, for working with vets. We're working with a young horse today. Apollo is 5 years old and he's an off-the-track thoroughbred, and you can tell just in general watching his position and disposition here how he wants to move and step and move his face. These are the things that we're working on in the cross ties. Notice that I've started with the groundwork. I'm keeping the expectation that my shoulder is in line with his throat latch. We've gone through this when we've gone through the basic groundwork and moving the horse's body. When I take him in, I'm going to make a circle. There's a couple ways to do this. The easiest way to turn a horse around in the cross ties is because I'm on the left side, I'm moving him in the direction of the left. I'm pulling him towards my left. When you walk in, you can move towards the right. It's a little bit more difficult because watch, I have to push the horse's body around the circle with me on the opposite side. And especially with a big horse, that makes that a little bit more challenging. So when you walk in, you can just walk a left circle. Now notice what, again, his behavior. He thinks I'm being playful, and so he's wanting to kind of nip and he's wanting to move his body or to square up. Oh, good boy. I'm going to put him in the center of the cross ties. Now I haven't attached him yet. Most people come in and attach their horses pretty quickly, and what I'm still working on with Apollo is just standing still, just understanding my expectation that he stands here and doesn't paw and doesn't nip and doesn't bite. Now if I were to go and start grooming him, I would probably keep him just on this rope halter line like this, and I would work on just his position standing in the cross ties. Because notice he still wants to look around, he wants to smell, he wants to be playful. I'm teaching him that in these cross ties it is work, and we do expect him to stand still. Good boy. Okay, so when I'm walking and moving, I'll pet his body on both sides. I'm going to walk to the other side. Good boy. He's still in the middle of the cross ties. He hasn't moved his body yet. I want his feet to stand still. I've got him settled, so I'm going to take one of my cross ties. Good boy. I'm going to attach it to the side. Now I am working in a rope halter still, and typically what we would do is we wouldn't attach cross ties to a rope halter, but today for training purposes this is what we're doing. Now other halters come with different fasteners and things to be able to put it on, but specifically for a rope halter, we're going to attach this tie here down on the base of the halter. I'm going to walk to the other side. I'm walking around the front of the horse. Good boy. On this side, I've got my other cross ties. I'm going to attach in the same location. On the side of the horse, this is a barrel snap, so that these are safety cross ties. If the horse gets in trouble or trapped or something happens, I want to be able to quickly get him out of the cross ties just in case. So when I attach to the side on my barrel snap, it's very easy to get this horse out of this cross tie if I needed to for safety reasons. Now, I'm still under the expectation that he is in the center of the cross ties, he's standing still. What I'm also looking for him is, good, step back, good boy. I'm also looking for a horse that isn't biting at my ropes, okay? Now, a lot of horses can be oral. What they like to do is they like to bite either lead ropes, people, they're looking for treats, they're looking for snacks. And so I don't have food or snacks and things on my person. I'm making sure that I want the horse to understand we're in work mode, we're not in treat mode. And that's why I don't offer treats. Now you can tell his impatience. I'm gonna stand here and correct him. Part of just standing in the cross ties and learning about cross ties is that he learns to stand still and not paw and not move his feet. So I'm gonna back him just another step. Good boy. Good boy, and praise him when he stands still. That's a good boy. It may not be very long that we're able to work in the cross ties, okay? He has a little bit of a shorter attention span just because of his age. Back. His owner works with this, works with him on this, because what he does like to do, if I were to put his rope halter around his neck, I want you to see his behavior in the cross ties. If I have a rope halter on, I'm going to layer it around his neck, and now watch. Just so you know, when you walk away, what a horse does, he's probably going to move. He might even decide to paw, okay? He knows that something is getting ready to happen, whether that's work or tacking or grooming or those kinds of things. So notice the difference in the horse's behavior, okay? A lot of what we're going to do is we're going to help him understand how to stand still, okay? How to stand and cooperate in the cross ties in such a way where even if we walk away to get our equipment, he's not going to sit here and paw and do this, okay? Because this creates just really tough habits to break. Whether they're slinging the cross ties or they're pawing or whatever they're doing, we want to make sure that we establish a ground tie or a groundwork situation where we're at. So what I'm going to do for the pawing is I'm going to walk up and undo one side of my cross ties. Knowing that he paws, I'm going to take my rope halter. I'm going to keep him attached to one side, and I am going to move his body back over, okay? So when he moved himself out of the center of the cross ties, good boy, I'm going to use the end of my rope just to square him up. That's a good boy. So I'm working on one side. So this horse is at a point in his education, what he needs is possibly just to be attached to one side of the cross ties. He may even need dropping both cross ties and just working on standing here while I'm grooming him, while I'm tacking him. Anything that I'm doing, I'm making sure he knows he stands in the middle of the cross ties, he stands straight. We're not biting or playing with the ropes. We're also not moving and standing here and pawing. Okay, so this is the first place to start when you're working with a young horse or you're working with a green horse. You're working on just getting him to stand his body inside the square of the cross tie. Good boy. That's a good boy. So whether I pick up his feet, whether I pet him, anything I decide to do, anywhere I move, he still stays in the same place. Good boy. You find good stopping places for horses. So he got quieter as I stood next to him and I worked on the rope halter instead of on the cross ties. Gradually, what our goal is though, is that he's able to participate and do the same behavior and expectation whenever I attach these cross ties. I want him to stand in the middle, to stand quietly. That's a good boy, so much better. Okay, so we've eliminated some of the pawing, we've eliminated some of the nipping, okay, and the biting. I've done some small corrections with my rope, okay, much better. What a different disposition of him just standing here. This is a great place for him to stop. So as I take the cross ties off, he's not moving his body. Good boy. So he's not worried about the space. He's not worried about the window behind him or the people are walking by. What I'm working on him with is just getting him to understand how to stand in the middle of the cross ties. Okay, even him turning his head towards me, I want to make sure that he has the understanding that he just stands quietly. Good boy. I'm going to wait. Oh, there's a little pawing. That's a good boy. Wait, that's a good boy. I'm going to walk out. That's a good boy.